All right, at the Academy Awards, Moonlight wins Best Picture. Damien Chazelle wins Best Director for La La Land. Casey Affleck, Best Actor for Manchester by the Sea. And Emma Stone wins Best Actress for La La Land. Best Art Direction, La La Land.
Art Direction.
Production Design.
Oh,
Production
sorry.
Design.
Yeah. How far apart are Emma Stone's eyes?
I don't know.
An extra eye, at least.
At least.
Yeah.
It's unique. I mean, it's not like weird unique, but it's unique.
Okay.
Have you not noticed that?
I never thought about it. You've said it before, and
I have.
I never thought about it until you said it.
Yeah. I mean, we saw it in Spider-Man,
Yeah.
Put her right next to Drew
You
Barrymore.
saw it in Spider-Man. I still don't see it.
Put her right next and literally measure the pupil distance between the two pupils and see what happens. I think it's like 2x.
Get like the same shot of her and like Kirsten Dunst.
Oh, maybe.
Wow.
Well, Kirsten Dunst would be a bad one to do. Anyway, moving on. Sorry.
Jeez. Oh my god.
Her eyes are pretty far apart too.
We may have a potential snub here.
Whoa.
Hidden Figures at the Academy Awards was nominated for Best Picture and Best Actress. Octavia Spencer.
Mm-hmm.
It's also nominated for Best Adapted Screenplay.
Why did he get snubbed?
What about Miss Henson? Taraji Henson.
Now,
Catherine Goebel Johnson.
yeah.
I mean, Octavia Spencer, she's great.
Yep.
Deserving of a nomination.
Yep. She's a very good actress. And
But, yeah, she is. Taraji Henson, though, that moment in the room where she's talking about the coffee pot that nobody wants to touch.
Yep.
I mean, like, you know?
Yeah.
It's good.
You know what made me tear up a little bit?
Kevin Costner knocking the thing down.
No, that's not what made.
Oh, okay.
That's my favorite part of the movie.
Yeah.
And there's more to that, but it was the one that made me tear up was when we didn't go through the rules.
We haven't gone through the rules.
I can't talk about that crap.
Yeah,
We've already blown it.
We haven't even gotten there yet.
Man.
Jeez.
Okay, potential snub.
It did win Best Outstanding Performance by a Cast in a Motion Picture at the SAG Awards. And won
Great.
Best Fight Against the System at the MTV Movie and TV Awards.
Almost sounds like a Rage Against Machine song.
Yeah. I think this was inspired by Rage Against the Machine. If I could be wrong. But, I mean, I did get my info from Wikipedia. So. All right. Top 3 domestic box office. Star Wars, The Last Jedi. I believe this is episode 8. There's one more after this, right?
Yeah.
Episode 9,
Yeah.
the final Star Wars, did not make the top. I'll just spoil that.
Yeah.
I looked ahead. That, I believe, was the first ever Star Wars movie to not crack the top 3 domestically. I think at that point,
People knew.
people were just fed up. We're like,
Yeah. Okay.
We're done.
we're done. It's the end, but we're done.
Wow.
Beauty and the Beast and Wonder Woman round out the top 3.
Was that the live action Beauty and Beast?
Yes, it was.
Did you see that?
Yep. I did.
Karen, did you see it?
No.
I didn't see it either.
Don't. Add that to your top 100 movies to never see before you die.
Right.
I'm a fan of the animated one. It's one of my all-time favorites.
Yeah.
Gaston.
The live action does it no favors.
Who's the spoon? What's the name of the spoon again? Or the candle. Sorry, the candle, not the spoon.
Lumiere.
Lumiere, right?
Yeah.
And then you got Chip.
Mrs.
The cup.
Potts.
Cogsworth.
Cogsworth is great. That was a fun movie.
Yeah, it is.
It needs to stay animated.
Yep.
What is Disney thinking?
B.
How much money are you going to spend to realize you suck?
It made a ton of money still, you know.
It did?
Yeah.
Wow.
Top 3 at domestic box
I
office.
just want
Top 2.
to tell people how ridiculous it is.
I was a sucker, man. I was excited for it.
Did you buy it? Did you get Disney Plus for that?
No, because I already had it.
Oh.
Unfortunately, I had. This is the thing about that is. So I'm a part of the Disney Club.
Yeah.
And I originally signed up because you get all these great deals. You get all these Blu-rays for dirt cheap. There's a catch. You have to, I think, buy 5 movies at regular price within 2 years to get all these movies for like dirt cheap.
So which 5 movies did you buy?
I don't remember, but one of the movies that I own is live action Beauty and the Beast. But that might be because I think you get like a featured title every month. You either have to decline it or you end up paying full price for it. And I think I forgot to decline it.
Boom.
And
you own
they
it.
sent it to me. Now I own it. And
isn't that the best thing in the world?
Nope.
You're going to have to pay full price for this. We're sending it to you, but you have to decline it in order to not pay.
Like
for
if
it.
I would have known, I would have accepted the offer and then like got the free lithogram with it. You know, they send these little pictures.
Oh,
I've got the Good Dinosaur and Coco.
yeah.
Pretty cool. Some of them are cool.
It's a lithogram,
Yeah,
not a
that's what they call
hologram.
them. Yeah, a lithogram.
A lithogram.
Yeah.
It's probably more accurate.
And they sell like a binder and you can put them in.
Save them and
Yeah.
Collector's items for the next generation.
Right.
Boom.
If anybody wants an Arlo Good Dinosaur one, I've got one. $5,000.
So what else happened with?
I'm setting the market.
Yeah, you are.
Some other movies that came out: The Fate of the Furious, John Wick Chapter 2, Get Out, the Lego Batman movie, and the Emoji Movie. I did have to check on the Emoji Movie. Apparently, that movie was pretty bad.
I didn't see it.
Like the poop emoji.
oh,
Maybe add that to your 100 to never see before you die. Hidden Figures was released January 2017 worldwide. We've got some rules.
Are we starting at the top or the bottom?
doesn't matter.
You know what? We've already broken number 3. They're spoilers, people.
Yeah.
What's number 2? Is it length or is it?
Yeah.
Are we sure? Because how long does it have to be in order to make
YouTube? I could have gone so inappropriate there.
I know, and you didn't, which is really terrible. I set these up. They're on a tee.
Rule number
literally,
2,
you just have to swing.
which is the length of the movie.
You can literally hit the tee that's on, and the ball will still move. Swing,
That
buddy.
is
Again.
true. That's-
Swing, buddy. They're on a tee.
The movie has to be less than 128 minutes.
Did we make it?
We did. It's 127.
Oh!
This is probably the sweet spot. I don't know. I don't think you want to go any longer than this. We tried last week, and the consensus was it's too long.
It's too long.
Anything longer than
You
this.
don't hear that very often.
Yeah, you don't.
I hear that all the
she
time.
said. That is not what she said.
I'm at work too long.
Oh,
Hook, line, and sinker.
All right,
Didn't you?
rule number 1:
Hook, line, and sinker.
the movie's got to be made within the last 5 years,
And
and it was.
we do this
we
on a
did it.
regular basis. This is
our thing. This is what we're known for.
The selection committee.
we follow the rules.
Save us.
They do.
and when they're the SC now. They're not the selection committee.
Yeah,
the SC. We're gonna
Did you like
abbreviate
that?
everything I did. I saw that I giggled.
You like that?
I was like, okay.
They did shut us down for the first time.
They did.
Was that the first time?
I was really, and honestly, now looking, post wise, going, okay, we're gonna get ready for our after shutdown, the alternative movie. We should have did the movie that got us shut down.
Well, the question was asked. It was asked, well, what's the name of the podcast?
Right.
Rewatch Mafia.
See, yeah, I get that. I do get it, but
We could
The
have
selection
watched it
committee-
and then rewatched it.
well,
We could have watched it, then rewatched the movie.
yeah, the selection committee does realize that we have done a movie that we haven't seen before.
That was brought up,
Okay.
and they're okay with it if it's a new release.
Ooh, Roger that. And that movie that we were trying to select wasn't exactly a new
Wasn't.
release.
It
Not
came out a
really.
few years ago.
Okay.
But I was behind it at first. My first instinct was like, this, I don't know. But I love the director, the actor. I was on board. They were not.
So maybe we.
So
have
then
to,
I started regretting, like, why do we? Some of them listen. I don't want to go too far on that. All right.
So maybe Aaron.
I love
Aaron,
the SC.
maybe we just have to go watch the movie and then we can just re-propose.
Maybe re-propose that it's a rewatchable movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Sounds good. I'm good with that.
Had a budget of $25 million, brought in $236.2 million.
Nice.
Rotten Tomatoes, 93% positive reviews.
Pretty high.
Yeah.
Pretty high. I mean,
It's not rotten at all. It seems pretty fresh.
seems pretty fresh.
Pretty fresh.
Pretty
fellas.
fresh. Like, deer's going to eat these. They're so fresh, right?
They're gonna
You're
pull
eat them
them-
right off your front porch.
That's right. And we've had that happen. We've had
Yeah.
fresh tomatoes like that.
They ate your Hidden Figures
We did. They
tomatoes.
did. Those jerk deer.
So, favorite scenes?
Whoa, we're already jumping into
Why
favorite
not?
scenes?
Why not? There's so much to cover.
I'm going to start with this because I already talked about it.
Okay.
It's the culmination of the conversation to Costner's character's action of knocking down the colored women's restroom sign. Once she vented the frustration and the BS that was going on within the whole, NASA department, I don't know if you guys noticed it, Kevin Costner said nothing. He said nothing until after the action was completed to make sure that something had changed. He knocked down the sign as a physical thing and said, "Hey, this is no longer okay." And then after that was done, then he said, whatever he said. I can't remember what he said off the top of my head, but he was like, "We all pee the same color," or whatever it was, right?
At NASA.
At
Not
NASA.
not everywhere else. Just
Not
at
everywhere else,
NASA.
just at NASA, which he could control, that was the deal. So, and that's where it starts.
So I
He saw the value.
just have to point out something that
Please do.
at the beginning of the movie they say the movie is based on true events.
Right. Didn't say it was all happening at the right
And
time.
So I just have to say that this is actually a conglomeration of events that happened from the 1940s
Yeah.
to 1963 or so. And not everything that's portrayed in the movie actually happened to Catherine Goebel, Dorothy, and Mary.
Okay.
Because by the time they actually worked at NASA, segregation had already stopped happening. I think in 1949, NASA was already
Desegregated.
desegregated.
Okay.
And Catherine had said she had never actually had that happen where she had to make the run across the parking lot to the women's bathroom,
Okay.
to the colored bathroom. But when I think Dorothy started, there was still colored bathrooms, and it was a very, very short amount of time until the desegregation happened. And then, it was just, I get what they're going for in the movie, and you have to understand watching the movie that they're covering a wide span of history and trying to make you get the feel of everything. But
Sounds like you're trying to demean my favorite part of the movie.
no, what I'm trying
Jeff,
to
what do you think?
what I'm trying to say is
Is it not
Don't
worthy?
cut her off.
Is
Let
it
her
wor-
finish.
well, that's what I'm saying that was my favorite part of the movie.
Okay.
I love it because they shoved a whole lot of history into one person's life. That these ladies, don't get me wrong, they did amazing things and things that were, like she said, standalone, one, the first of their kind, first generation. They're amazing. They would be amazing if they did it now. They're math geniuses now. So I love the movie. Love the movie. And I think it's cool that they added all of the the history into the movie. But that was one of the things that I went, oh, that scene actually never happened. But it did.
That's my favorite part of the movie, though.
It did to somebody.
What?
It did to somebody.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
So it didn't happen, but
it didn't
happen.
Let me say, it did happen to somebody. It didn't happen
somewhere in America.
No.
Right.
It did happen to
Well,
someone.
so my favorite part of the movie wasn't really happen, so that's cool.
It happened to someone in NASA.
Thanks,
it
hon.
didn't happen to Catherine.
Cool. I get it.
Because
cool.
they used stories.
I like
within-
fiction. I really do.
Okay, fine. Quit cutting me off.
To piggyback off of what Karen's saying, I did read Catherine, what she had said about her time at NASA.
Yeah.
Is that by the time, like, most of her time there, she didn't feel like it was segregated at that point, that everybody was there and focused on having a job to do and getting their job done. But yeah, I mean, they're trying to make the movie and trying to tell the story. It kind of how you're explaining it, and you explained it very well, was kind of like what Martin Scorsese did with Casino. He took these different gangsters from different periods and these different locations and kind of combined them into, and then created a story off of that. But
That's the thing with Paul Stafford. He really was a fictional character. There was no person called Paul Stafford, but he's kind of the conglomeration of 2 or 3 people that were fairly racist toward, supervisor people that was fairly racist and stood in the way of her in her career over time. And same with the supervisor. Oh shoot, now I can't remember the name. Anyway, he is the one that smashes the bathroom sign, played by Kevin.
Al Harrison,
right? Played by Costner, is kind of a conglomeration of 3 leaders in NASA, and I love that they just, for the story's sake, do that, cover a huge amount of time. And
I know, because we're going to get to the peanut gallery, but some people did have issues with the movies.
Really?
With the movie, and in particular the Kevin Costner character, and being, a number of people labeled him as a white savior. And
wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Some people took issue with the fact that they kind of created this person.
Interesting.
Yeah. But anyway, we can get to that. 93% on Rotten Tomatoes. Some reviews criticize the film for its fictional embellishments and conventional feel-good style. Tim Grierson, writing for the Screen International, states that Hidden Figures is almost patronizingly earnest in its depiction of sexism and racism. An air of do-gooder and self-satisfaction hovers over the proceedings.
Wow.
I mean, I guess when you make a movie like this, you can't just, people aren't just going to let it be simple, enjoyable entertainment,
That's all this movie really is. It's good. It's a good, well-made movie to me. I love the storyline. I love that I'm not looking for the white Jesus Costner.
right.
I mean, I didn't get the white Jesus Costner at
You'll
all.
love it, though.
Yeah.
You love it, Mr. Dances with Wolves.
I do love Costner. I do love Costner, but I'm just saying I didn't see him as a white Jesus kind of a thing. And it wasn't him.
Actually, you know what he felt like to me? It felt like they took this guy from somewhere in the future. They sent him back in a time machine.
Yeah.
He was completely oblivious to racism, because there were times he's like, why can't you use the bathroom? Or like, why can't you come in the courtroom with me? What's the problem?
Yeah.
Like there were moments where he has to be explained why.
Yeah.
I thought that was kind of funny.
And somebody had already covered that, though. All he sees is numbers.
Right.
That was literally said about him.
Well, and I think kind of what Karen was talking about was, in real life at that time, it seemed like, at least when Catherine worked there, that pretty much everybody was focused on numbers.
Yeah.
Right. Are we going to the moon? Oh, we're already there.
Something I thought about would have been cool is if they would have made this like a Good Will Hunting kind of a movie. Where like Catherine's kind of like the Will Hunting, not like a I'm not saying she should be a janitor, but I thought that would have. I don't know. I thought that would have been interesting. And
the request from John Glen to have her check the numbers, the smart girl, actually happened.
I'm not leaving.
It didn't take her that short of time. It took her a day and a half to check the numbers, but she did have to get hunted down, and she is the one that checked the numbers before he took off. I thought that was pretty freaking cool.
Here's what we're missing out of the whole thing. They only went around the world 3 times versus 7, and in my book, that's a fail. That's a D, and that's
They brought him home without dying.
Karen, we're not missing. We're missing.
Dying.
We're missing the
That's
fact.
a win.
That's 3 out of 7. That's a fail.
So you're saying that this was too positive. Too many good things happened in this movie. You wanted to see.
We didn't focus enough on the failure.
Okay.
Yeah.
I get it. I get it.
Huh.
We didn't focus enough on the failure of the mission. Look, everybody's, personal issues, and cultural issues and all that good stuff culminated into a failure. That's what this movie was about. 3 out of 7.
Poo on you. They brought him home without dying.
That wasn't the goal. The goal was 3 rotations and come back without dying. 7 rotations without.
The goal was.
The goal was 7 and return home without dying, and they failed.
They failed. That's quote from Aaron Waymar.
Thank you.
They failed.
It was a failure.
Eric Cohn of IndieWire argues that the film trivializes history as a I've never seen this word before. Hagiographic?
Spell it for me, please.
Hagio graphic.
I think hagiographic sounds good.
Hagiographic tribute to its brilliant protagonists. It doesn't dig into the essence of their struggles. Similarly, Paul Burns concludes that when a film purports to be selling history, we're entitled to ask where the history went, even if it offers a good time instead. So some people seem to take issue with the fact that it's a feel-good movie, but where's the real history?
What do you mean feel-good? Some of these people went through some
They did,
crap.
but it's a happy ending. He doesn't want to land without Catherine, without her thumbs up, and
which was a real thing.
Yeah.
And that's a feel-good moment that we need to call out to say it's inaccurate. It actually happened. What the holy crap?
Google
Why are these
synopsis.
guys all pissed?
Google synopsis.
All right, hit me.
Let's take it down a notch.
Whoa!
Aaron,
I'm a little bit peeved about some of these people who are like historical
on
inaccuracies.
the defense now.
Really?
Historical inaccuracies? Really? Yeah, it was pushed into one movie. Oh my gosh!
They could have put loosely based on true.
Yeah, these things happened
Even
over
though,
like 30 years.
If you think about it, based on true events, I don't know. I think that should be enough to say that's different than saying entirely factual or 100% accurate. It's based on true events.
Right.
It is. It's
like
based
the
on
Bigfoot movies that we want to watch. People believe that they are true.
They
and
are,
is
though.
that based on a true event?
Yeah.
Yeah. To somebody else.
So
Do I believe Bigfoot's out there? I don't know.
Hagiographic is the writing of the lives of saints, a biography that idealizes the subject. It's generally designed to serve a political agenda.
Okay. I'm feeling like if I like this movie, like I should be hated for liking this movie because.
But if you don't like this movie, you're going to be hated by a different group of people for hating this movie.
I tell you what. Here's where I stand. I like the movie.
Just for movie sake.
I liked the movie because it was entertaining. It pulled at the heartstrings in some instances. Yes, I understand that the timeline wasn't real and all that happy crap.
The music was good.
The music was great. I saw Hans Zimmer's name somewhere in the credits. So, and was it Pharrell Williams as well?
Yeah.
He was brought on to help direct some of the original score and stuff like that, or did it completely? I can't remember which one.
Yeah, wrote a lot of the original stuff.
What a crap ton of talent to bring on to this movie.
Right.
The actresses did a wonderful job. I mean,
I think for the most part, the acting all around
Yeah.
is just so good.
yeah.
The only one I felt to me was out of place was Bazinga.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, Bazinga.
I don't know. Like, if I had to pick anyone that was miscast, to me, he felt just kind of miscast.
I don't know. I thought he did pretty well.
I'm just so used to him in.
Had
Maybe
he
I'm just so
done
used to him in
Parsons,
Big Bang
Jim
Theory.
Parsons,
Yeah,
right?
Jim Parsons.
Was he already involved with Big Bang Theory before this movie? I can't remember. I don't know what the timeline
I
is.
think so.
So he was.
I don't think it had finished yet.
Okay. So he was already.
I don't know. It was just weird. Like in the beginning, he's like kind of hateful. I'm like, I'm not used to seeing this from Mr. Parsons.
Yeah.
So he's the one that plays the fictional
One of the fictional supervisor. Boss. Yeah.
that is really a conglomeration of several supervisors throughout her life.
All right, Google synopsis.
Okay.
3 brilliant African-American women at NASA, Katherine Johnson, Dorothy Vaughan, and Mary Jackson, serve as the brains behind one of the greatest operations in history, the launch of astronaut John Glenn into orbit, a stunning achievement that restored the nation's confidence, turned around the space race, and galvanized the world. That just angered some people somewhere. Because it's not historically accurate. Right?
No, it's not. I'm angered. Just at Google, though, so don't worry about it.
Yeah, I realize I want to see that Mahershala, I forget his name. Catherine's husband?
The one she marries
Yeah,
halfway through, yeah.
Mahershala Ali. I was like, I'd like to see him in some more stuff.
Have you not seen him in stuff? I've seen him in stuff.
I've seen him in stuff, a few things.
Yeah. He's got a very unique look to him and the way he presents himself.
Yeah.
I think it might be a typecast kind of a situation
I
where
love
he
that
has to
they-
fit a certain typecast.
That's too bad.
I love that Mary introduces them at the social, and she waves him all over. Why is he coming over here? Because Mary's waving him over. And then he comes over. How about a piece of pie, Dorothy? And they just leave her standing there. Leave the two of them standing there just gaping because there's no other option.
All right, you ready for the peanut gallery?
Oh, suppose.
Sure, why not?
Positives. I'm never going to see Sheldon Cooper the same way again.
Yeah.
Boom, there we go. Okay.
Aaron.
Yeah.
I need to read about these amazing women now. Bye.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was on the same boat. Yeah, I didn't know much about it. I wish I could understand math that way because it seems so cool to calculate stuff. Shout out to those 3 ladies. Once again, I wanted to work for NASA, and this film inspired me. I love learning about history as well, so this movie was my favorite. I didn't check in to see if they actually work at NASA now. I like to think that they do.
The people that wrote this?
Yeah, I like to think that they do. Watching 3 black women outsmarting everyone in a white male-dominated workplace is such a joy to watch.
All right.
Okay. All right. Whatever floats your boat. I love space and space movies, as well as history and black history. 5 stars.
Well, then you're going to be really,
This is the movie for you.
really,
Or maybe not compared to some of the...
because there's not much history to it.
Well, it's my kind of history movie, poignant and inspiring, but also outrageous. 5 stars.
Wow, outrageous.
Outrageous.
Okay.
End quote. All right. Negative. So I didn't pull any one particular. These were, so the positives, I left out, there were so many 5-star reviews that just said women.
Wow.
There were like hundreds.
Okay.
There were not a lot. There were only 17. I counted them. 17 half-star reviews.
Total.
My first thought was, before I even checked, how can anybody give this movie half a star? Like, I was very curious to see.
What?
Yeah.
Why? Okay.
Why? So there's only 17. I started reading some of these reviews, and I'll say this. I thought they were more thought out. At least they were thought out. well thought out, or at least had some thought put into them, you know?
All right.
Than some of our other half-star reviews.
Or even the 5-star reviews that just said women.
Okay.
The general consensus seems to be the dislike for the historical inaccuracies. So these people disliked the historical inaccuracies so much that they felt like Hidden Figures deserved half a star. Mainly the addition of a completely made-up white character, by some, deemed the white savior, Kevin Costner, who one in particular deemed the king of white saviors.
The king of white
Coupled
saviors.
with the fact they didn't need one in real life. So then the question becomes why they felt they needed to include this in the film. It's obvious, so us white people can see it.
Pretty
right?
much. I think so. I don't know. Why do we need Costner in that position? Was there nobody that was leading the charge in that whole thing?
I have no idea.
You just leave that person out of the movie? That these just mathematicians were just not being led and giving John Glenn his numbers and saying this is it?
You get the scene of him hitting down the sign, right? It's to drive home a point.
Yeah.
Right?
It was a time of action from whoever. It happened to be him at that point in time. Is he white Jesus at that point?
Absolutely. No, it was when he said we all pee the same color at NASA. That was his white Jesus moment.
At NASA.
At NASA.
Okay.
I don't feel like he was. I don't know. I mean, I just don't feel like they painted him like the white Jesus. I mean, yeah, there were some things that he did, like smashing down the sign, but he didn't paint himself as brilliant like her. He even said to Paul, you know, your job is to find the genius in that pool of people. And he's looking right at her. I mean, he knows that this woman is more brilliant a mathematician than he himself is. You know, and they're both, when she pulls out this new way of calculating the orbit and they're all three sitting there against the desk, they're like, huh, that'll work. You know, she does the calculating. I mean, yeah, he's her boss, but he's also very much realizing that her brain works better than his on these calculations. He needs her there. He you know, I don't know. There's a push and pull in my head going, yeah, they paint him as a savior on some of the racist things, but there's also the respect the other direction in the intellectual sense.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
It wasn't just the white savior thing. There were people that had issue with how they maybe didn't do Katherine Johnson justice.
I get that.
That the real life version of her was far more incredible in what she
Apparently she was far more incredible.
Yeah.
Looking at the real history of things and all the honors that she's achieved in her life, and all three of them, I mean, amazing, amazing women.
It's a movie.
It's an entertaining movie.
It is.
True. I get it.
I would have liked to have seen a movie more centered on Katherine Johnson and how great she was. I probably would prefer that.
Really?
But
without Hidden Figures, would you have known about Katherine Johnson?
No, but I'm also not knocking this movie either.
Right. But I'm saying I don't think a lot of people even knew these people existed.
Yeah.
Hence the reason for the title and the movie and the entertainment value at 93% Rotten Tomatoes. I mean, all that good stuff is there. It's entertaining. And you get a glimpse into what is a different reality about these people that were there.
Well, she herself said, yes, my name is the one that's was being brought to light in this movie. Katherine Johnson and Dorothy Vaughan and Mary. I'm sorry, I can't remember her last name, but we're the three that our stories are being quote unquote told, but really it's the story of all these incredible ladies, and that's why the story isn't told exactly how it happened to us. She's the one that said that in interviews after the fact. So she wasn't hurt by the fact that it wasn't exactly her story, that it was a conglomeration of lots of
She wasn't angry about this movie?
Not at all.
Huh.
She was
interesting.
She was honored by the fact that yes, it loosely was based on the three of them and things that happened, but knew that it was the bent toward all of this 20-year period of history of what happened to these people, because it was bringing things to light that happened before she even was there at NASA, and was honored that her story could bring some of the segregation things to light, and she wasn't offended by it at all.
Yeah, I mean, a movie like this, I mean, opens a lot of people's eyes to. I mean, most people didn't know this story.
Right.
And now a lot of people do because of this movie.
Right.
I wasn't alive during this time, but it was an interest. I had no idea some of this stuff went down. To some degree, right? Greater or less than. So, it was nice. It was a nice eye-opening experience. Jeff, thanks for bringing that up.
Yeah.
Yeah. But the movie was entertaining, though.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like it. Would watch it again.
Absolutely. This was a second time for me.
Okay.
And I told Karen afterwards, I was like, I liked it as much, or if not
more,
better,
yeah.
the second time through. I don't know where you stand on that, but that's where I landed. Karen, where'd you land?
Me too. I think I fell in love with the score even more this time. I was not paying attention to all the little details of the story. I was able to sit back and hear some of the emotion and the music and stuff this time. And I don't know, I really enjoyed it. And then I was looking up the history stuff while we were watching, and I don't know, I like it even more. You?
It's good. That's what movies are made for. I mean, you know, I hear people complaining about like a movie like Schindler's List being that's too real, right? I've heard that before. Mm-hmm. You know, so movies are made for entertainment. I gave this 3.5 out of 5 stars. I really enjoyed it. It's good. I'll probably watch it again at some point. But yeah.
All right. Is this where we're wrapping up?
Yeah, I think so. Unless there's anything else we want.
I'll say it. It's a wrap.
All right.